Go. Hello, everybody. This is Tito Bort here, CEO at Altisales, and I am back doing SDR Superstar Series. It's one of the things that I get the most excited about because I believe that when SDRs are doing incredible work, they have to be put in the spotlight, and there are so many things we can learn from them. It's literally them in the trenches, working hard, hustling, figuring out new ways, doing different research, using video, using new techniques, new tools. When you see them execute well and they're getting results where they're like 150%, 200%, 300% of quota, man, let's ask them what they're doing. They want to tell you, they want to share. So here we are back again. I have Jaime Safianow. Did I get that right?
You did, Tito. Hi. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Welcome to SDR Superstar Series. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tito. I'm really excited. I've been following you for quite some time, so excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm so happy you're open to connecting. And again, I'm coming back doing these after a while. So let's start with just quick intros. Sometimes I talk about how different SDRs follow different strategies, and kind of like your target market, your persona, your average deal size, all those things will affect kind of what strategies might work better for people. So why don't we start asking you for some context? Tell us who you are, what company you work for, and what does the company do? What's the target market?
Absolutely. So again, I'm Jaime Safianow. I work for an incredible tech company called Quantum Metric. And Quantum Metric, basically what we do is we identify, prioritize, and quantify whenever a customer is struggling, whether it's on a website or on a mobile device, on a kiosk. And the results are profound improvements in the digital customer experience, increased conversions, and so forth. So that's what we do. And we work with a lot of, Fortune 500 organizations like AT&T, Under Armour, Lululemon, primarily retail, financial organizations, insurance, and telco. Those are our main verticals that we're working with.
Awesome. So let me think, for other SDRs that are watching this is very enterprise, right? So high average deal size, likely 6 figures probably.
Yes.
You're reaching out to people who are trying to make sure the users don't get stuck in their digital experience. So when you're talking AT&T, I'm thinking somebody's trying to like update their bill pay or change their address or stuff like that, and they're getting stuck. And your software kind of helps them out understand where and how to fix it, which means you're talking to chief digital officers. Like, what is your persona?
Yeah, so funny that you mentioned AT&T. The chief digital officer for AT&T is speaking at a big virtual event that we're hosting next week. So yeah, a chief digital officer, a head of e-commerce, anybody that deals with digital experience, digital product, CX, UX. We really go after a lot of different types of personas in a lot of different verticals, but it's always enterprise.
Awesome. Great. That's good context. So let's dive right in. Let's help these SDRs figure out, how to do things slightly better. Let's make sure at least the structure around your incentives are properly aligned. So are you doing inbound, outbound, both? And what do you get measured on?
Yeah, so primarily outbound, although I get inbound leads that do come in, demo requests, contact us, they might have downloaded some content, but majority is outbound. And that's pretty much how the team is structured. And as far as what we're measured on, it's meetings that are scheduled, but more importantly, meetings that actually occur. So we want the meeting to actually happen, and then we're incentivized, as the meeting and the opportunity goes down the pipeline and eventually sells.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. And we're talking about your performance. I mean, you are in an interesting role. You're a team lead, so you're helping the team, and you guys are growing and hiring like crazy, but you're getting 2x, 3x as many meetings as many of the other team members.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Correct.
That's incredible. Yeah. So what's the secret sauce? Like what are you doing that, like, I don't know, others aren't doing? Like you're getting tons of meetings. I think, what's your record, or how many did you get in like a month? This is enterprise segment, right?
In a month, oh gosh, 40 in a month. I've gotten 40 before at previous
Wow.
organizations. My
Okay.
secret, I mean, number one, first and foremost, I think it's so important to provide value. When you're reaching out to a prospect, don't just immediately go for a meeting. Send them some content that resonates with their pain point and their challenges. Invite them to an event that your company might be hosting. Find out if it's their birthday, send them a gift, maybe some cookies, an e-gift, since we can't really mail things right now because of the pandemic. So provide value is number one. And number two, I would say just personalize the outreach based on the persona, the vertical, and what's important to that executive.
Right. Now, obviously, I agree completely, but also this sounds like what everybody else is talking about. Everybody says personalize and be and provide value, and then we see it happen. Somebody says, "Yeah, send them some valuable information, send them an ebook or whatever," and then I see an SDR will go grab an ebook and blast it to 700 people.
Yeah.
Is that not what you're doing? Like, what do you mean? How do you know who wants what? Like, how would you know that a certain lead wants certain piece of content? That sounds like hard to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first, I don't really believe in email blasting a whole bunch of people. I think that's silly. To know what's important to them, look at their LinkedIn, see what they're posting, see what they're liking, what they're commenting about. We have tools and technologies that tell us what they're opening, what they're reading. Use those analytics and that data to make strategic decisions in your outreach efforts. I'm going to prioritize a lead that's opened my email 5 times and looked at my LinkedIn and connected with me much more than, just any lead. You know what I mean?
So it seems like when we do these superstar series, we always talk about like where your meeting's coming from. You're pretty heavy on social, and seems like LinkedIn is a big spot for you.
Yeah.
What
Yep.
does your research or outreach look like there? Like, if I'm a prospect, what experience would I get from Jaime trying to book a meeting with me?
Sure. And, again, it's not immediately asking for the meeting. If you're lucky enough to connect with somebody, like what they're posting, follow them on LinkedIn, see, when it's their birthday. These are important details. Know what their pain points are. You don't have to immediately ask for the meeting. And as you build your professional brand on LinkedIn, when you cold call this person, you have a much better chance at success because they might actually remember you, especially if you've recently connected with them or, liked some of their content and things like that.
Okay. It's funny you
Mm-hmm.
say follow. I mean, is that something you like? I've never heard an SDR say, "I will follow my prospect." They might send some aggressive connect request with a message of like, "Let's book a meeting," but you're not. You're like poking them with
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
but there's no like, we're gonna get you into a meeting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's absolutely correct. Yeah. I literally will just follow somebody. I don't mass connect requests with everybody because, first of all, LinkedIn can put a block if you do that. And second of all, the follow feature on LinkedIn, it's like a nudge. They get notified that you're following them. So it's, hi, I'm here without asking for a meeting. So it gets their attention. So I do that a lot.
I love that. I think following people on LinkedIn might be the most like under utilized feature for like prospecting. It's genius.
Yeah.
You also mentioned birthday. Like, why why do you why do you care? Why birthday? What else can you do with other data? What else do you find out on social?
Yeah, so if you connect with somebody, once you connect with them on LinkedIn, oftentimes you can see their personal email, their mobile phone number, and sometimes they'll list their birthday. So one thing I do that's pretty unique is if I know it's somebody's birthday and this is somebody that I want to talk to, I will put a calendar reminder to myself on their birthday to reach out and send them a gift. And usually the gift is something like maybe an e-gift of some cookies. And I just position it as, please enjoy the birthday cookies. The cookies were sent in an effort to capture your attention and introduce you to Quantum Metric. We're working with other e-commerce leaders to identify, prioritize, and quantify when customers are struggling on the web. Would you be open to hearing more? They're much more likely to take the meeting if you send them a gift. And that's another way to provide value.
And that is genius because we have had somebody else in this series that used to send people gifts, and I think it's a good idea. Or he would try to research and personalize the gift more than anything. So like I remember we were talking about like somebody who was like, oh my god, they posted on LinkedIn, so like I'm so stressed, I'm eating so much junk food and snacks, I need to get healthy and take care of myself. And then he went on Instacart and sent them like a basket of fruits from like the supermarket. And then he got a meeting. Obviously, like
That's
that's genius. But you're doing it slightly differently. The gift isn't as personalized, perhaps, but what is personalized is the moment of gifting. Because if I get a gift on a random day, I feel like, well, it's a bribe. Like you're exchanging the gift for the meeting, and this is an economic transaction. It is not a social transaction. However, when you send me a gift that says happy birthday and it's my birthday, I'm like, this is amazing. Like,
yeah.
my brother didn't even send me a gift on my, my birthday, but Jamie, this random person, I don't know how she knows it's my birthday, but you send me a gift. Like, I'm stoked. Like, I'm celebrating the people because nowadays, especially with the pandemic, we can't even celebrate our birthdays properly. Like, I want to throw a party. I want to go to a club. I'm not going to do that. Come on. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Are you kidding me? So I love that
Yeah.
idea. Have you, well,
Yeah.
one thing I want to show people is an example of what that has looked like. So I'm gonna share my screen for a second here as we're recording, and people can see. So give us more context. Here we have you. You sent somebody a video.
Yeah. So the video, and that's another thing that I do that I highly recommend. Video is a great way to break through the noise and get your prospects' attention. It also shows that you're a human. You're just a person, they're just a person. And this is an example of an enterprise company. The prospect, it was his birthday. We had connected. I sent him a video wishing him happy birthday and sent him cookies. And then he responded, and we got a great meeting. And now there's continued discussions, and it's a great opportunity now. So
That's incredible. That's awesome.
yeah.
Like shocking, right? Shocking, but not shocking, right? Haven't we all read all these things from like, how to win friends and influence people? Of like, talk about them, and details matter. Like we
They
should all
do.
we should all know that. So
Yeah.
this is awesome. I am
Details in that. Yep.
exactly. So cool. So birthday gifts, videos. Do you ever send a video without a gift, or how do you structure this? Do you always
I
every
do.
time you send a gift, you send a video? Like
Um, so I send a video if I don't immediately hear back from my initial outreach. And it could be you recently attended an event that we hosted. Thank you for attending that event. Would love to briefly connect and continue the conversation if you're open to it. That the video, it gets their attention because their inboxes are full. And if you can send a video to somebody on LinkedIn, they will get the video. We don't know if they're going to get the video if you email them. It could go to spam. The admin might block it. There's a myriad of things that could happen. But if you send them a LinkedIn video, it will get to them. So I
that's
do that a
genius.
lot. Yep.
That's
And
genius.
LinkedIn voicemails. LinkedIn voicemails are great as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I can't believe this because I'm realizing that that's right. The open rate on email, it gets blocked. It won't deliver. It's so much more difficult. And when I get links via video or links via email, people get sketched out sometimes. Like, oh, maybe this is phishing, or this is, this might have an ulterior motive. But you're only sending. This is genius. You follow them on LinkedIn. Maybe you connect later. If you connect, you have access to their birthday. Now that you have access to their birthday, it's a little bit more personal. You can send them a gift on their birthday, and that will come with a video via LinkedIn. The video via LinkedIn cannot be some spammy thingy, or it cannot be phishing. And on top of
Right.
that, who the hell gets videos via LinkedIn? Like I get thousands of automated, boring messages. I don't get
Mhm.
somebody to be like, hey, Tito, video on LinkedIn. I love the methodology. You are a true superstar.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
let's
And
talk a
I
little bit.
think it's
Yeah.
so, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were gonna add something there.
Oh, I was just going to say it's so important. That's why it's so important to follow people and build your brand on LinkedIn, because when they click on your profile, there's your chance. They're seeing you, they're seeing what your company does, they're seeing who you are connected with, they're seeing mutual connections. It makes you more reputable. So,
Yeah. That's right.
mhm.
I also want to talk about like what do you need to have in order to do this level of outreach because you're doing this super super well. Like what are the tools that either the company's providing you or that you found on your own? Like how'd you send those cookies?
Yeah, so
Right?
the cookies we use Reach Desk. It's just a gifting platform, but there's also Sendoso, there's Alice, there's a number of gifting platforms.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, so that's what we use for gifting.
that's cool.
And
I
then for
know from these tools, a few that I've bumped into that are interesting. One is Printfection that I happen to just have gotten a gift from somebody like posted a link. They're like, oh, if you want this book, you can just order it from here. I clicked on the link and it was Printfection. It was really easy. And I just put my address and blah, blah. And then a book is being delivered to my home. That happened in the past few days. And then I have a friend who also is doing something very similar to this at a company called postal.io. And what they do is not only can you send people gifts, but you can also send people like experiences. Like you can invite them to a special like opera that's like online. It's kind of it's paid, but you can invite them and there's like experiences or you can do stuff like that. I think that now that there's no in-person events, the ability to I can send you a gift without having your address is really
yeah,
smart. Like you get an email that says, hey, you got a gift, put your address, we'll deliver it. You just go in, put your address, and boom, they get the cookies.
that's right. That's right. It's fantastic. I mean, they have to accept the gift. They put in what address they want the gift shipped to, and it's so easy. It's very seamless. It's fantastic. And that reminds me, another thing we've done recently. We are you familiar with Cameo, like the celebrity videos? You can hire a
Yeah,
celebrity. We've done that as well. You can hire celebrities. We did one with Snoop Dogg, which is hilarious. But yeah, you could do cameos and send that to high level prospects if you see that they're, a fan of Snoop Dogg. Let's say you look and you see on their Twitter they're a fan of Snoop Dogg, or that's part of the research,
right.
knowing your prospects well and speaking
This
their
is
language.
genius because like you're using their birthday, but like I really want to hear more about other ideas. Like I'm loving this idea. If you know that I'm like a Real Madrid soccer fan, if you
Yep.
send me a video of like anybody who's a player there right now, I can name 100 of them that I would like
Mhm.
just be stoked about current and previous players. I'll take a meeting with you just because like nobody has ever done that for me, right? Nobody has ever sent me a gift on my birthday. Nobody has ever sent me a cameo. And it's not hard to figure out. Like you can go on people's. I mean, it's not on LinkedIn though. Where are you? Are you going on? Like, are you trying to find people on Facebook and Twitter and places like that? How do you find out if they like?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it just depends. The higher level prospects, yeah, I definitely do my research. I'm Googling them, I'm seeing where they're speaking at, what they're interested in. And, one thing we also do that's very successful is we have an alma mater campaign where we identify what college they went to. And before the pandemic, we would actually mail them a mug where they went to college. And I mean, oh my God, that works so well. You get so many meetings because you took the time to find out where they went to college and you sent them a mug. They love it. So that works really well as well.
That is awesome. And where do you find those
Yep.
mugs from? Is that Reach Desk as well?
For that, we would just literally, we had a vendor that we hired and she would just order them individually through the college bookstore. So there were some moving parts to that. But yeah, there are gifting platforms that also offer that as well, like e-gifting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And it's like somebody sending you a Duke mug, right? And then I get the email. I'm like, this is cool. Like I'll
Yep.
accept, right? So fun, cool. Um, I think this is awesome. I think SDRs have learned a lot already from everything you've shared today, and your secrets are awesome. I think it's just a lot of people know these things like in the back of their minds, but it is getting them to the front of their minds and then conceptualizing, explaining the execution, and then going and doing it, right? And hearing from somebody who's not like, hey, here's a great idea, but you've been doing this and it's working like crazy. So great job there. Let's talk a little bit more about the structure of the company. So how many SDRs do you guys have at the moment? How many AEs? Like, what is that ratio? Are you guys paired up? Tell us more about how you guys work together.
Yeah, so the SDR team, and we're growing like crazy. We just got $200 million in funding last week. So we started out with 3 SDRs. I believe we have like 12. We're scaling internationally. We're building out an international team as well. We're always hiring for SDRs. The 3 characteristics that we typically look for are our core company values, which is passion, persistence, and integrity. And those 3 characteristics make a fantastic SDR if you have those 3. And then as far as the pairing with AE, so right now I'm supporting 3 AEs and sometimes a 4th. Because we're just hiring, we need to hire more SDRs. But typically that ratio is 2 AEs, 1 SDR.
Nice. Awesome. And
Yeah.
then I assume your AEs, are they split in territories? So you almost have like a territory as well?
Yes. So everything is based on geography. We have named accounts. So we have like a tier 1 account, which is like, a Wells Fargo type account, a huge account. And then we have a tier 2 account, which is still a reputable brand, but maybe they're not as big of an enterprise as a Wells Fargo would be. And then we have non-named accounts, which we might or might not be interested in speaking with. It just depends on a number of factors. And everything is based on geography.
Cool. And for like the team or like, you know, you're doing things a little bit different yourself. Is your team mostly using, well, before we get into that, how did you learn all these ideas for like the gifting and all that stuff? Like any specific blogs, people to follow, books to read? I don't know. What are the resources?
Yeah, so books to read, the Sales Development Playbook by Trish Bertuzzi is really great. As far as people to follow, Tito, I follow you obviously. There's a great guy named Josh Braun, Braun, and he basically he's so good at like copywriting, and that's such an important skill to have as an SDR. So Josh Braun, Morgan Ingram, he's really good with videos. So who else? Colin Cadmus. Those are the 3 that come to mind immediately. But yeah, I mean, I find these best practices through just doing it all these years and just trying different strategies and following other people that are successful.
That's awesome. We'll give him the shout out on LinkedIn once I post. You can tag him there, thank him for the
Yeah.
effort. Um,
Yeah.
that's really cool. And let's talk about like your internal team. Like, do you allow SDRs, each of them building their own sequence and trying a million things, or is it like more structured and hey, we have a master sequence that we've proven it works and like people use mostly that or um,
Mhm. Yeah, I would say both. For somebody that's more senior, we'll give them the freedom and flexibility to build their own cadences and their own sequences. For somebody that's more junior or new to being an SDR, I might help build cadences for them and build the messaging and just explain to them my methodology because it does work. The numbers prove it works. So it just depends on the SDR and their level.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's a good structure. Internally at Altisales, we've been doing that for a few years too. Like when you start, we say, don't like when you come in here, you're gonna start working and you're gonna have like a million ideas. And we love people going online and researching. Josh Braun's a good friend of mine. So is Colin and so is Morgan. Like I mean, the sales development community is small. We talk and I tell them go follow them, go follow Kevin Dorsey, like go follow all these great personalities and get ideas from them. But for the first 3 months, allow us to teach you the basics. We're going to
Yeah.
build the foundations of your sales development career. And then once you're there, you can come up with a million ideas and we'll continue to implement. So things get streamlined and so on and so forth, which is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Cool. We are almost out of time. I don't know if you're gonna add any other things that you enjoy in the sales development world and life. You've been doing this for quite quite a while. What gets you
Yeah.
excited? Like, is it the are there perks? Is it the lifestyle? You know?
Yeah, all of that. I mean, there's definitely perks. I mean, we're prior to the pandemic, I would travel a lot. It's a great way to connect with people, get some really good leads, attending trade shows and events, hosting events. But yeah, I mean, I love it because the SDR role, it really provides tremendous value to any organization. And a good SDR can make an organization millions of dollars, millions of dollars seriously. So, I just think it's if you have the skills to be a successful SDR, you can do anything, and it's a very strategic role. So I love the challenge. I enjoy it immensely.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been in this SDR world for 10 years now. It's crazy, and
Yeah.
I find that it's evolved so much.
Hmm.
And yeah, the tools are so much easier, better, and faster nowadays. Like being able to
Yeah.
use things like outreach to like
Oh,
build sequences rather than back in the
sales
day
funnel.
where I
Mhm.
needed marketing to send the emails because I couldn't send the emails and I would just dial. It was messy before. Now it's beautiful. So.
Yeah. I thank God for SalesLoft, Salesforce, Zoom Info, Vidyard. Those are some great tools that really, really help.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. For
mhm.
everybody else, those are your videos mostly through Vidyard when you throw them on LinkedIn? How is that workflow?
The videos for us are mostly just I make the video on my phone. You have to download the LinkedIn mobile app, and I send it through LinkedIn if we're connected. And if we're not connected, then yes, Vidyard is great because it goes right to their email and you have a hyperlink. So you both are great.
Awesome. Well, that is incredible, Jamie. You have provided everybody here a ton of value. I hope you've enjoyed this chat with me, and it will be posted on LinkedIn soon. So for everybody else who's watching this, I would love for you to comment below and nominate any SDRs that you know have been killing it in the past months or the past year or whatever. I would love to learn what are their tips and tricks and how can we spread the love and help others also learn what are the best practices that are working right now in 2021. Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
Tito.
Have a good one. Talk soon. Cheers.